Let's go to Florida, folks, where Andrew Gillum is leading Ron DeSantis in that particular race to become the next governor of Florida. He's up by 3.5 points in the Real Clear Politics poll. A poll, that's a combination of multiple polls in that particular race. That's within the margin of error. So the reality is, look, still a lot of work to go. Less than 50 days. Andrew Gillum, though, he also dropped this new ad today.
What sits beneath our names is a healthcare system that works for everybody. Our teachers who need to get paid what they're worth. Our kids who need an opportunity that should not be defined by their zip code, where they live, or what side of the track they grow up on. The politics of hope and aspiration and inspiration and opportunity still lives, and it lives right here in the state of Florida. Let's bring it home.
Very interesting here because what we're seeing Ron DeSantis. First of all, he left his job as member of Congress because he said, "Ooh, this thing is serious." That we also in that particular poll as well, we're seeing it's tied now between Rick Scott and Bill Nelson there as well. Nelson is attaching himself. First of all, he finally came out of his damn coma and realized that I better campaign.
I'm in a race.
Right. Absolutely. But I think what's interesting here is that DeSantis has been getting nailed for the last couple of weeks for his ties to various races, to various anti-Semites as well. And he is strapping Trump on his back. And so I think what's going to happen is we're going to see some very interesting things happen. Trump likely is going to go down to Florida and have a rally. And so imagine what's going to happen if you have, in the last 30 days of this race, if you have Donald Trump, Michelle Obama, and Barack Obama traveling, all three going to Florida, holding rallies for this gubernatorial race.
And you'll see, and there'll be different parts of Florida. I know everyone thinks Florida is south is Miami Beach.
Yeah.
But you got the Panhandle, you have Central Florida, the I-4 corridor, and then obviously South Florida. And I don't know if you'll see Mrs. Obama or the former president in the Panhandle. That's where I think you'll see the president, 45, hosting his rally. But I think what concerns me about that poll, and anytime you have state candidates running, especially candidates of color, running, poll numbers are a little weird because it's kind of cool to say you're for the black candidate. You don't want to tell a pollster that you're really not for him. So I'm really interested in to see how the polls, and obviously, hopefully, he wins his election.
Well, look, Gillum is running as if he's down. Remember, he was down 7 points a week before the primary, and then and beat all the other candidates as well. But I think what you also have here is, again, I do think you're going to have a Trump backlash. I'm very interested to see if white women are finally woke women. Talk about the WWW. If that happens, because what happens, I think, with Kavanaugh could have an impact as well in terms of what happens in the midterms as well.
Absolutely. And I also wonder what the implications will be for the Latino population, because you have 45 who just insulted Puerto Ricans, and I would think by extension, anyone of compassion in terms of how he sort of denied the reality that there were 3,000 people who lost their lives as a result of Hurricane Maria.
And a lot of Puerto Ricans left Puerto Rico and now live in Florida.
Exactly. And even DeSantis came out and said, I think that number's right.
And Rick Scott.
Exactly.
And then Trump blasted DeSantis and Scott for not agreeing with him. They're like, your ass ain't down here dealing with these Puerto Ricans.
Hold on, taking this a little too far there.
Exactly. So one thing that I'm thinking is, Trump is the type that holds a grudge. He's petty. Okay, he is petty.
Yeah, we know that.
Is he going to be there, campaigning for him?
No. He will be in Florida.
Oh, absolutely.
Because again, here's what you have. He has to go to Florida because of Rick Scott.
Yeah.
And even though Scott's trying to dance around it, they know desperately that if they want to keep confirming these right-wing judges, they have to stay in control of the United States Senate.
That's true.
So absolutely, I think he's going to be going to Florida. So we'll be seeing that.